Do you feel like you fell into the trap that so many fighters do with fame and money?
Obviously. 2017, double-weight world champion, Floyd Mayweather banked. And then I launched an Irish whiskey. I didn't drink heavily, if at all, in that time of my life. I was an athlete at the top of my game. Next thing you know, there's thousands upon thousands of bottles in my garage. Sell this, Conor. Okay, I'd leave my property and with 2 bottles under my arm. And that was it. I was caught. I wasn't used to it. That's it. God gave me these lessons. That's it. I was trapped and caught. And it is what it is. I trust in God. And I trust in the truth. And if the world is against the truth, then I am against the world. And that is where I stand.
I'm over it now. I'm not going to stare at it. You stare at your past and you'll end up staying there. It's okay to look back and admire it, but you carry on. I'm not in the business of staring back at it. You know what I mean? And getting lost back there. People say a loss can make or break a fighter, but trust me, a win can also make or break a fighter because they get comfortable with a win. People can get comfortable with a win, and slack off then. Slack off on the training. Slack off on the diet. They've won one. They're winners now. That's not me. You sleep on a win and you'll wake up with a loss. So I just carry on.
Do you have to have that attitude to be at the very top in your sport?
I feel to be at the pinnacle in whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else.
How do you predict these
if
things?
you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
You better stay balanced. You better stay balanced. Because people, even I was saying to someone else there, when you're making inroads in yourself and working on yourself, sometimes when you're down in a place, you don't feel anything else. You've no emotion. You're reckless. You're going. You don't pay no attention to nothing. And then when you eventually, with most people and all people, they must put that work in on themselves and get themselves back into a steady state of living. That is the time where the rope is even thinner. You get me? The balance, you need to be even more balanced because the fall is even higher then. If you fall when you're in this position, you don't give a fuck. You might even do it out of, just to do it. So I'm in the state now where I'm keeping my balance and making my way through life. And God is helping me with that. That's it.
Do you have regrets?
No. God knows my heart. And the things that I've gone through, a young man, I came into all this. I forgive myself for what I forgive myself for disgracing the position that God put me in, which I've done many times, and I won't do it again. And that's where I'm at today. I don't have regrets. I'm happy and thankful for the lessons that I learned on the way.
This relationship with religion is somewhat new, right? I've not heard you over the course of your career speak about God like this. Where did this come from?
It takes a deeper meaning when you hit rock bottom and there's nothing else there but God. And then just it. And I'm going all in on it.
Conor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car, you didn't have a pot to piss in. All you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it. You called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything. So that's where I am right now. They say I'm just talk, but here I am walking. Where's everybody else? I'm here.
all these fighters beforehand today are all tipping Max. Not this little man over here. He thinks you're an absolute moral. What do you say?
You know, nothing better than proving people wrong. People are entitled to their opinion. Some are valid. You know, there's some questions. Time out, injury, lifestyle, yada, yada, yada. I know. And your boy knows there. Fair play to him. And there you go. Let's go. We're going to go in Saturday night and shut them all up again. You know.
Throughout your early part of your UFC run, and even 2016 was such a magical year, not just for you, but the sport, but you disrupted so much back then, and now you return 5 years later with the opportunity to disrupt everything again in multiple divisions. Do you feel that right now? Like, do you feel sort of that magic, almost like a...
Shake up the game. Shake up the business, for sure. Prove myself to myself. I am who I say I am. I am that I am.
I want to ask you one more question, because you've been talking a lot about finding religion and putting yourself in this spiritual place, and normally it takes like a certain moment for that reflection to happen to kind of turn things around. Do you remember the moment where you felt like this is the need, like you had to get to the knees and rejoice and find that within yourself? Do you remember that moment where you kind of turned it all over?
Look, it's not just like, it's many moments, even, if you will. It's not just one, it's a whole sequence of events and almost divine coincidences that just cannot be anything but the higher power. And I connected to it. I am really, truly, in my heart and soul, over all this materialistic bullshit.
So what is the motivation on July 11th? What are you trying to...
The love of the game.
That's
the
it.
Love and the fun. I do this for the fun. I do it for the fun.
The crack, as they say.
The crack is 90.
Yeah.
For sure.
This is your life, it's your job. Did you ever have, let's call it a normal job, Conor, a 9 to 5?
Yeah, because the Irish thing is to get into a trade straight away. I was no different. As soon as I finished school, I was always getting pestered. What are you doing with your life? You're doing this, doing that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what MMA was. They didn't know what none of this. They didn't know I could make a career out of it. As far as they were concerned, my man and dad I'm talking about, as far as they were concerned, I was just getting into a cage and fighting with some other guy. They didn't know nothing about it. No one did, really. But I knew. You know what I mean? I knew. But and then I ended up getting a trade just to keep them quiet. Because I used to have a lot of fights with my dad.
What trade did you get?
I ended up getting a trade as a plumber. Literally up in the back arse and nowhere, up in the Wicklow Mountains. And funny enough, that site was one of the biggest sites in Europe. Kilternan. It was right at that skiing place. Huge. And now it's just abandoned. Now it's just deserted. So I used to go up there 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on that M50. I used to have to walk to the N4 about half an hour from my house, wait for some Limerick guy that I didn't even know. He'd drive on the M4 and I'd have to flag him down. Nightmare, yeah. 2 hours down on the M50, 2 hours back. Literally 14-hour days, and I was the first year, so I had to go and do everything. I had to go to the shop. I had to go and get this and get that. So I always had trouble with that, and I was like, this isn't for me. This is not for me.
How long did you last?
I lasted 18 months doing it, but it was tough, you know what I mean? It wasn't the life for me, you know what I mean? And then John said, because I was training with John as well at the time, and then John got in touch and says, I have a show, I'm running a show, I'd like to fight on it. And then that was it. I just packed it in, didn't show up. My dad used to come in and punch the head on me and like try and drag me out of bed, and I just wouldn't go, you know what I mean? I had an uproar for a good few years with him over it, but and that was it. I just packed it in, quit, and then focused on training. And I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get here. They didn't. There's a lot of stressful years, you know what I mean? A lot of tough times, but I proved them wrong. I proved myself right. And my mother at the time didn't even know Tom got signed either. It hadn't even been announced yet. And then all of a sudden I'm in my room and I knock on the door and it was John. Comes into the thing and we had a mad heartfelt talk and we said, look, we can go and do it. Tom is that they're getting signed. I'd like you to come back. Let's chase it. And then that was that. I rang Tom. And then that was that, you know.
So it's your mother that deserves the credit.
Definitely. My mother definitely.
If she doesn't make that call, you probably don't come back?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I probably would have just went back eventually. I don't know what would have happened. Who knows? But yeah, definitely my mother. I love my mother very much, and I mean she's been, like I said, when I was chasing this dream and had no job and I was collecting social welfare, my mother would if ever I was like in real stuck, my ma would come and help me out, you know what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing.
A beautiful thing. The Irish mothers, there's nothing like an Irish mother, yeah, they look after their sons, and my dad always slags her over, you know, and jeers her over, because like compared to an English mother, he always compares them. But no, my ma looked after me if I was ever stuck, or if I was ever in trouble, or maybe even I was in the wrong, my ma would still think I was in the right. You know what I mean? I still campaign that I was in the right. So no, my mother definitely reached out there and got in touch with John, and then John, of course, got in touch with me. You know what I mean? It was a perfect storm. It's in my head 24/7. There's nothing else I can think. I don't think about nothing else. And that's it. I'm just curiously fascinated with it, and I can't stop thinking about it. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with fighting. You know what I mean? And that is why. You know what I mean? To be truly good at something, all you've got to do is show up.
Is that not unhealthy?
I don't know. Do I look unhealthy? Take a look at this physique. I'm in phenomenal shape, in body and mind. To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day every day of your life, 9 to 5, in an office or in a, you know what I mean? That's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I don't work. I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. I mean, it's my life. I mean,
What would you have done?
Who knows? I haven't a clue.
Weren't you working in the plumbing business?
I was working in the plumbing business at the time, yeah, but I'm trying to think. It would have been around that time that John. See, I'd left the plumbing business. I left the plumbing business.
How bad was that?
The plumbing?
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Were you actually in the trenches?
I mean, it was an industrial.
Ooh.
So it'd be like building this. It'd be like the plumbing that would be needed in a place like this. 6 o'clock in the morning, and the motorway. And I used to have to walk for about an hour to get to the motorway, and then I'd stand on the edge of the motorway and wait for a bloke to drive by, so he'd give me a lift. And then the motorway was like getting renovation at the time, so it'd take me 2.5 hours to get to the place. It was out in the country. Then I'd be there for 10 hours walking, and I was a first year, so I was the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? It was only beginning. Then 2 hours to get back in the traffic again. It was just a horrible time. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And then I just left, and then I just stopped going, didn't get out of bed. Then my dad would come in and try and bait me out of bed, and we'd have fights. And literally, for a good while, I didn't really speak to my dad. We just kind of stayed away from each other. Anytime I'd come across my dad, anytime we did speak was to fight.
You lived in his house?
Yeah, I was only 18, 17, 18.
But you didn't talk to him? Isn't that kind of awkward?
Yeah, well, not like it wasn't, whatever, you know.
You didn't have just a deep relationship?
But since this has happened,
right.
Since the dream has happened, since the vision that I had has come true, and like he went through a tough time as well, because he got testicular cancer.
Oh.
So he got sick and all over, and in my head I was thinking maybe I done that because he's worried about me and doesn't know what I'm gonna do, and all these fights that we're having all the time, and like I'm talking full on fights. You come in and punch it. We're going at it. Yeah, we're going at it.
You're punching back?
But yeah, we're going at it, yeah.
Wow. What did your mom say about that, who's so protective of you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. She just stayed out, you know. But
why did it get to that point, to where he was that mad?
Because I was doing absolutely nothing. I was out getting into trouble. Yeah, it basically felt like I was doing fuck all. I was a waster. You know what I mean? I was a waster. Called that a lot. You know what I mean? But now, like, and then when I start getting that focus and realize, you know, fuck, I'm gonna make this happen. And then now that has happened, I'm making it happen. I have a great relationship with my dad. Like, we talk all the time, and I even see energy in him, and I see energy in my mind. It's depressing times for a lot of people in Ireland. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the country. A lot of people are struggling. Everybody's struggling. But now, since them seeing me chase this dream, it's given them an energy, and I see a new lease of life in them, and that alone spurs me on even more. So it's all just a perfect storm that's happening for me, and that is why I have this tunnel vision, and that is why I'm willing to kill every single man in my path to get that belt. You know what I mean? To secure the future, from my family's future. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing it for.
Will they be here on Saturday?
They'll be here on Saturday night. Yeah.
They went to Boston, right?
They went to Boston.
I think
yeah.
they were on TV holding the flag, right?
Now they now they're famous. Now they think they're famous. You know what I mean? My dad is floating around like. But honestly, it's phenomenal to see. Like it's uplifting to see that. You know, to come out, my dad being depressed and being sick, and then coming through it, and now he's like fucking flying around the place. It's phenomenal. I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality, and that's what I am feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Can you recall what it felt like when you landed the punch? It only took one punch.
Yeah, you know, when you hit the soft part of the face, you actually don't feel nothing. It's an unusual kind of feeling. So I hit it, and he was on the floor, and when you hit it clean, you don't feel it. It's nice. It's soft.
In July, you were emotional. Tonight, you almost feel speechless. It seems like it's hard for you to fully verbalize.
I am calm, tactical. I came in confident. I came in where many doubted me. Everyone doubted me, so I came in and said what I would do, and I went and done it.
You said this week you were going to prove your point. Do you think you accomplished that?
I feel so. I mean, I'm sure there's something. I'll wait and I'll giggle at what they say tomorrow, but that's amusing to me and my team, but we done it.
And you also said a couple of weeks ago, what will they say now? You'll sit back and wait.
Yeah.
What can they say now?
You know, there's always something. There's always something, but questions are good. Like options are good. In the fight business, questions and options. I'm happy that there's both.